Hey, you guys, Scoop here. Now, today I'm coming to you guys with the follow up from a video I made a couple weeks ago. I titled that video something about great opportunity that might be coming my way. And it was all about the fact that I was going to be speaking with a guy who had a radio program, and they were looking for stories that showed people with handicaps that are really in a positive light, that really showed their empowerment. And I happened to have a couple stories that I thought would be good for that program. So I sent them a quick email, followed their format, and showed them what I had that I'd like to share with them. And the guy answered me. His name was Aaron. He answered me from the Stoop, is the name of the radio program. That's also a very popular podcast. And he responded to my submission asking if we might be able to talk on the phone. So we agreed upon a time and we spoke on the phone. And basically, I knew that talking to him on the phone was going to be my audition, my chance to share the story with him. And he gave me an opportunity to do so. And I spoke for about 5 minutes, told him two different stories, one of a woman who crocheted a beautiful Afghan of the American flag, full sized, and she's blind. And the second, it's one I've shared with you guys before. It's about perspective. And it's all about the young man that was in the permanent wheelchair at the restaurant and how seeing how his family spent their time with him really kind of changed my perspective on things. And I shared those two stories with this gentleman named Aaron, and he was great. He told me some really good feedback that was actually very helpful for me, both with the speaking and also with different avenues to pursue with this. But in talking, I found out this wasn't a radio program where you call in and then they record your story and then use it on the air. They actually have a live event that they do once a week where they have an audience there in the Baltimore area. We mutually came to the decision that it really wasn't worth flying out to Baltimore to speak for these 7 minutes. But I didn't want to share this with you guys yet because I didn't want to just come back and give you news about it, because I thought it was a really positive conversation I had. This guy was really helpful and he was a really nice guy. So it's been stewing on my brain for a week or two on how I ought to share this with you, and it hit me of a way to turn this into a positive. So I'm going to be out in the Baltimore area this summer, at least within a couple hours of there, particularly in June. And when they have their weekly programs at the Stoop, some of those are going to be on the 2 weeks that are surrounding Flag Day. Well, I'm going to suggest to Aaron that if they don't already do a program specially for Flag Day, maybe they should incorporate it this year and let me share a couple of my stories at Flag Day. So one of the stories I would definitely share would be of that wonderful young lady I met. And I've got a great picture of her with the Afghan that she knitted, but I would share that one with them. I would also share a story about an Elvis tribute artist I met that gives his heart and soul to honor veterans every time he performs. And not only do I have the story, but I have some really good footage of him doing this at a convalescent home. And then the third story I would tell them is about the time where this one community at the county fair that I was at over the course of 5 or 6 days in a row, that at this community, whenever they have the national anthem each day, whether it's a live singer that's local that's singing it, or sometimes it's just a tinny recording that plays over the loudspeaker throughout the fairgrounds, everybody stops what they're doing to pay honor to the flag. And while I was there, in addition to the high level of patriotism that I saw there was a great patriotic story about a community coming together to help a family with the boy that had a very rare brain tumor. And I think I can weave in the American flag with this story just as easily as I can the other two. So I'm going to ask Aaron if he might consider using these stories for a Flag Day program, one of those first few weeks of June when I'm going to be out their way. So just like I do with everything else, as ideas come to mind or things that I pursue or angles that I try to hit with pushing this stories by Scoot thing we've got going on, I'm going to continue to share them with you because that's what we're all here for. All I'm going to ask you to do is to subscribe, like, and share for more Scoot Malaire.